Good evening and welcome curling fans across Ontario and around the world to an exciting final day of curling on Title Sports Live. Tonight we have live coverage of the U-18 Women's Ontario Curling Championship Final being held here at the Hamilton Victoria Curling Club in Hamilton, Ontario. My name is Mary Chilvers and I am joined here tonight by former Canadian Scotties silver medalist Laurie Eddy. Good evening, Laurie.
Good evening, Mary. As you said, this is the final game for this championship. The women's field began with 8 teams, and now we are down to 2. Team WARRINER had the bye to this final by virtue of top place in the round robin, and Team Bernard played earlier today in the semi-final, and they were victorious over Team Como. So much for these 2 teams to play for. An Ontario championship and a trip to the U-18 Nationals is on the line.
So on our feature sheet in this final this evening from the Elmira and District Curling Club, we have skip Veronica Bernard. We have third Claire Randall. The second is Sarah Wallace. And Kirsten Elson is the lead. And they will be going up against the team from the Listowel Curling Club, skipped by Maddie Warriner. Third is Sarah Bailey. Second, Brianne Donegan. And Shannon Warner is the lead. Just to cover the standings throughout the week, Warriner and Bernard both ended up with a 5-2 record. Warriner getting the bye to the final. We have Como and Deshane both at 4-3, and they played a tiebreaker. Doig and Steele at 3-4. Pollock and Mungle at the bottom of the standings with 2 and 5.
Yeah, so it was a really competitive field for the ladies this week. All the teams, 6 of the teams were still in the running with the final 2 draws to go.
Yeah. So because of Warriner getting the bye to the final, she will have Hammer here in the first end.
I think we'll see a pretty conservative start to this game.
Saw a great final earlier on today in the boys section.
Whoa.
With Team Lung defeating Team Enman in an extra end.
Good.
Yeah, it was a real nail biter in the last 2 ends of that game. Josh Lung had to basically draw to the pin and the extra.
Yep.
So couldn't get any closer than that. And now, Mary, we get to do the whole thing over again.
Yeah.
With the ladies.
Yeah, and it's a little stressful up here, watching all these kids playing to go to a national championship.
Yeah, it really is. You get very attached to these kids all week and feel like they're your own.
I know.
Hate to see anybody lose.
Yeah, I know.
Take a look.
The agony of sports, unfortunately. But Team Enman had a fantastic week. They did win the round robin. So really great week for them.
Nice. Nine, 5.
So I think in round robin play, Warriner did beat Bernard.
Close, clean, go.
That's why she got the bye to the final.
Hard, hard, hard. Hard right to it. Yep.
Yeah,
hard,
it's a
hard,
long
hard.
day for
Hard
them.
all the way,
They've
all the way,
had to
all the
wait
way,
all
the
day to
way.
play in this final. It's a lot of time to think,
It is.
Yep.
especially with the way their game ended last night.
I got 9-2.
Yeah. Yeah, that was quite a game. Last night, I would prefer, if I'm playing in a final, to get it over with, play early in the day
Yeah, me too.
instead of waiting all day.
Yeah, scheduling A little tricky. And this is our third game of the day to stream on Title Sports Live and our 15th of the week.
Yes. Our crew does just a wonderful job down there, Lori.
They sure do. Shout out to them. Working hard all week. I know the parents and the family members, friends and of all the teams really thankful that they can tune in. Watch all the action here at the Hamilton Vic.
What happened?
Oh, she almost fell.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, we're rolling it.
She caught herself in time.
6. What did you trip on? At least you stayed up.
I think Team Bernard had a situation in their earlier game too. I think the lead took out the skip by mistake, so they need to watch their footing. Like in that women's world game that we were watching last night where Caitlin Laws took out Dawn.
Yeah.
Landed her right on her backside.
Mm-hmm. Curling's becoming a rough sport.
Not in.
Except you're taking out your teammates instead of your opponents.
I think people might enjoy it even more if you took out the opponents.
Oh, yeah.
Line's okay.
So they didn't manage to get that rock in. Leaves it as a very long
4 foot. Keep
corner
going.
guard over to the side.
Where? 4 foot. 4
Team
foot.
Bernard will try to draw one in away
4
from
foot
that
on you.
situation.
Line's really nice. 4 foot. 4 foot. 4 foot. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. That's fine. 14-5. You were a little out. It floated 2, but you were also 8-6. Close. Whoa. Yes! Hard!
They were looking for the long hit and roll here, but she's going to hit it on the other side and roll out.
Might have grabbed something, cut really suddenly.
There was some tricky spots in the ice earlier in our men's final. So the women will have to really keep an eye and believe what they're seeing here.
Both of these teams play on the Ontario Junior Curling Tour. And currently, Team Bernard is in the #1 spot.
Oh.
Team Warriner is in the 10th spot.
So it looks like a really successful season so far for Team Bernard. Just hangs on in the back.
It'll be interesting to see how this game is approached by both skips. You know, the ladies' teams tend to play a little more conservatively than the men's teams.
Really gotta go, yes,
Well, I
yes,
think
yes,
they
yes,
both
hard.
have to remember that they got to this final, they deserve to be here, and they should continue with the strategy that got them here.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes not taking any chances doesn't do you any favors.
Nice. Yeah. That's okay. Sleepers can hold it pretty good, so.
So they would like to make the hit and stick here, not roll out to let Team Warriner try to use that corner guard. was a spot earlier we saw a lot of curl in.
Just edge of button should be good.
So Madeline Warriner will try to come around
75.
this corner guard.
Is that T? Okay.
So anticipating quite a bit of curl here.
Stay with it. Wait only. Room.
And that was a 1377. See if it sticks around in the back.
Okay.
Yeah, she took maximum ice there, but I was okay with that.
Yeah, I kind of want to throw 9.5. Just so
Yeah, if she had had sweeping weight, I think they could have gotten some partially buried.
Do you like that ice with 9.5? I was pretty up on my last one, but I think if I throw 9.5, this should be okay.
So Veronica gonna throw hit weight at this. Would like to stick around. Force Madeline to play the peel for the blank.
Yup. 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 Yes. Yes. Hard.
Ooh. Just got by.
So this will be a free opportunity to blank the end for Team Warriner to maintain that hammer into the second end. Yeah, I don't think they meant to play it as tight to the guard as that.
No, I think they're a little surprised.
Yeah.
First end, it'll tend to curl a little more until the pebble breaks down.
Yeah.
Okay, so the blank will go up onto the boards. Team Warriner will have the hammer, playing the second end. So throwing lead rocks for Team Bernard, we have Kirsten Elson. Lives in Mount Albert.
Line's pretty good. 4 foot. 4 foot. 4 foot. Line's okay. 4 foot. 4 foot. Make it in the 4 foot. Keep going. You guys got it. Line's really nice. All right, keep going. Keep going. 13-9. Full 4. Full 4. Good shot.
Really nice draw there.
And this is Shannon Warriner,
Yep.
the lead for the Warriner team.
Hard. Hard. Right up, right up, right up, right up. Hard. Okay. Just a little tight, that's fine.
So Kirsten is a grade 12 student. She attends the Bill Crothers Secondary School. 17 years old.
Line's okay. Clear close, clear close, farther out. 4 foot, 4 foot. Line's a little bit farther out, it's starting to come nicely. Hard all the way, all the way. 13-9. Keep going, keep going, keep going. 4 foot, 4 foot, 4 foot. Good shot. Close. Whoa. Yeah. Okay, it's fine.
So what do you think Warriner's strategy is here, Lori, with the
I'm gonna go the
hitting?
other way.
Well, I understood on her first one it was in a really good position and play the hit. Thought maybe she might try a guard on that one. Seems
Line's okay.
fairly content to just throw it up and
4
down
foot.
here.
Top 4.
Settle all the
Kirsten,
nerves.
close. Top 4. Top 4. 13-4.
But watching them
Okay.
all
that's
week,
fine.
I have noticed they did put a lot of rocks into play.
Yep.
Second on this Warriner team is Brianne Donegan.
Whoa.
Brianne lives in Listowel.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Same thing.
And throwing second rocks for Team Bernard is Sarah Wallace. Lives in Markham. Grade
Mine's
12
okay.
student, St. Brother Andre High School.
About the same path as the last one. Top
And
4.
she's 18.
Top 4. Okay, line's coming nicely. Top 4. 13-7. It's a little bit less, not much. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Same spot.
So nice opportunity for Team Bernard to get their draw weight here early in this game. So Team Warriner would love to make some hits and sticks.
Whoa. Close. Yep. Hard. Hard. Okay. It's fine. 9-5. What way do you want to go? Okay. 9-5.
So pretty tough out there when you're the only games, awfully lonely.
Mm-hmm. And if it's your first time in that situation, it's very different.
Yes.
Yep. Well.
Yeah, it's a lot to get used to,
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
knowing all eyes are on you.
Right to it, right to it, right to it. Yep. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Good shot. I got 9-4, but I don't know if that's right.
This is Sarah Bailey, the third for this Warriner team. And Sarah lives in Brampton, Ontario.
Yep. Yep. Yes. Whoa. Off. Little roll. Yep. Good.
And throwing third rocks for Team Bernard is Claire Randall. Lives in Sharon. Currently having a gap year, and then she'll be attending Brock University in September.
No. Yeah, she'll get no's. Good shot. No.
So skip Veronica Bernard already making her way down. Save a bit of time on the time clock here.
Nice.
We've had a few games this week that have been kind of close with the time.
Yeah, we have. They get
Whoa,
30 minutes of thinking time
Just
in these
clean.
8 end games
Just clean, you're good.
and 2 1-minute timeouts.
Sweet. I know. Just put my mid off a little bit with that high five. Yeah, she does that. Wait, what was that? 9-7? Okay.
This is Madeline Warriner.
A little bit.
Madeline lives in Burlington, Ontario.
So Veronica is a grade 12 student. She attends the Elmira District Secondary School. She's 17 years old. Looking for the hit and stick here to force Team Warriner to at least make a shot to get the blank.
Farther out than the last one. Sarah, close for cleaning.
No freebies.
Mm-hmm.
I'm rolling out.
Well, this might be a freebie. No, she's going to stick around.
Yeah, nice shot there.
That was good. I really curled at the end there. Good sweep. So loud.
So Madeline going to try to peel this rock out to retain hammer in the third end.
She looks so mad. Hard! Hard! Big roll.
Nice throw there by Madeline. Gets the blank. So still no score after 2 ends. Team Warriner will have the hammer heading into the third end. So we'll see if these ladies are ready to mix it up or not.
Nice. Good end.
Looks like Veronica is. She's going to call the center guard.
Yeah, she might be recognizing that Team Warriner doesn't really have to do much. They're in control because they do have the hammer.
Mm-hmm.
And so Team Bernard, this is a good decision. She'd like this one nice and tight to the rings.
Brianne.
This looks like it's probably in.
It's not going to be center. Can you finish now? No. Okay.
Wow, just
14-7.
comes up short. Nice shot.
Just trying to save her sweepers.
Yeah.
Give them a little break. Okay, let's see after all those hits if the girls have their draw weight.
Mm-hmm. Shannon will try to drop this around this guard. It's over curling.
No. So like 9-5 or 10? Okay.
So great chance here for a hit and roll. shot there.
Shot. 10-3. Yeah.
So Team Warriner taking a chance here. They're going to play another draw after that great hit and roll.
Wait only. Line's good. Line's good. Needs to move a little bit. Sarah's in. Yeah, both of you, yep. Hard. Hard, get it here, hard, all the way, hard. First it'll go, yes. Okay.
Nice shot there.
Still shot. I kind of like the blue back better than just hitting the yellow. No. There's probably this much room between the blue and the yellow. Just off nose, 9-5. Whoa. No, not close. Yeah, she has a little piece of it. No, she's just peeling it. Okay, sorry.
Just didn't quite curl enough.
9-1.
So nice draw there by Team Warriner. Sets up this
That one
chance
her release was really good on.
to hit and roll and sit a couple.
She was 9-1. A little bit of both.
So she doesn't get the roll, does group them a little bit.
Yeah. 9-5. Thinner the better.
It's a very thin double.
Yeah, if you hit and roll on top, that's good too.
Yeah, it might be a little bit easier just to play that shot.
Mm-hmm.
No. Okay, she's close. Yep.
She's got it.
Does she have enough weight?
Go Claire.
No.
That's okay.
Yeah, it was a tough double.
Yeah, really tough.
It's okay. I should have called you on a little bit sooner.
So really great chance here for Team Warriner to split the rings. Trying to capitalize with the hammer and get their 2 points.
Wait only. Yep. Get it here, yes! Gotta be here, yes, hard! Get it to a 4, hard! All the way, hard!
Sweeper's going end to end here. Does not get it in.
Good sweep. It's okay. Yep.
Nice shot by Claire.
Yes! Really hard! Really hard! Gotta go, hard! Hard, right up! Nice. Yeah, it's okay.
She could have tried for the long roll there.
Yeah, she could have.
I mean, she knew it was a little tight. They held it pretty good with the sweep.
I wonder if she's thinking about the blank here, Mary. I think you might see her now try it.
Good sweep. I don't love it, no. That's fine. You just lit a little tight on them. Your rate was really good though. Yeah, your first one. But you let it go clean, you didn't pitch it, so it worked out.
So Team Warriner looking for the hit and roll here.
Yep. Hard. Whoa. Yes, 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 yes. Roll it, hard roll. Hard.
Oh, she's really close to making that perfect.
There, 9-5? Yeah. I like roll away, yeah.
So they can see the whole thing
okay.
here.
So you're good. 9-5, yeah. Do you like this ice with 9-5? Yeah, that's okay. Do you agree? Yeah. A little bit farther towards center, a little bit closer. Yeah, if we can roll towards center, that'd be good, or fully under. Really hard, Sarah, hard! 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 Hard, keep going, keep going! Hard, any roll! Okay. Good sweep. Thank you. If we can get the little roll under, that'd be really good. Just control. Stay with it. Yeah. Yeah. Stay close. Yep. Whoa. Okay. That's fine. Oh, sorry, I had to get the elbow. Yeah, true. Just nose. Yeah.
Okay, so Team Bernard again would just like to make this hit. See if they can get a mistake out of Team Warriner on the blank.
Yep.
Not a lot of action here in the first few ends of this game.
Certainly is not. Not like the boys earlier.
Whoa. Clean, clean.
Really nice hit there.
Good sweep. Can one of you or both of you remind me to keep my hips up when I come down? Especially for my first one. Thank you. Okay.
Just let me know when you're
Keeping it very interesting with 3 blankets. Huh? Well, I tried to put up a guard. Yeah, that didn't work. It was a very tight guard. I like a 3, but it's not nice. Yeah.
She drew 9-1 on the last. She's tough.
Yeah.
So there's the mistake that Team Bernard was hoping for. Team Warriner does stick the blank attempt, so they will take a point there. It's 1-0 after 3 ends, with Team Bernard having the hammer, playing the 4th end. And we are once again joined by 3-time U21 champion, Matt Hall. Welcome back, Matt.
Thanks for having me back.
Great.
Glad I was invited back after this morning. That's a good sign.
It was. No, you did great. So low scoring affair here for the first few ends. Does that surprise you at all?
No. I mean, being in a big game like this, I'm not surprised to see them be a little bit more conservative. I'd like to see a little bit more action in these coming ends, because an 8-end game is so short as it is. When you start blanking too many ends, it becomes very volatile, and it can get out of control really quickly if one end doesn't go your way. So you know what, if this is how they've played the week and this is how they got here, then I'm sure they're comfortable with it. But you hope not to see it come down to one end in a championship game like this.
Exactly, because once it's over, I think you'll look back with some regrets of we should have maybe played to win versus played not to lose.
Right, and if this is, if they've played with lots of blanks and they're very comfortable with having nothing in play for the week and that's how they got here, then there's nothing wrong with that. But I think when you get into a big situation like this, you just got to trust how you got here. There's a reason these two teams are playing here, and if it's because they liked a few more rocks in play, then hopefully we see some action here.
Yeah, well, now we're off to a good start here in the 4th end. We've got the center guard and a great draw around. So game on.
Yeah, so we'll see Team Warriner try and come around top 4 here and hopefully put a little bit of pressure on Bernard and maybe get a force out of this end.
Line's good.
Great come around there by Team Bernard's lead to just not go too deep with that and let Warriner freeze. It leaves them a little bit of space later on to hopefully get a deuce.
Gotta go, yep. Hard, Brianne, hard! Hard, all the way, never stop. Hard, all the way. Okay.
Just doesn't quite get the finish there. I think she can see almost all.
Looks like blue is shot, but it's pretty close.
Oh, okay.
I don't think it really changes the call for Veronica here.
No, it's just a matter of which way they prefer to make the roll.
Yeah. Not too far, though.
Rolling in is definitely the more aggressive call, but it does allow Warriner to maybe sink one around, and it's a more aggressive call, but it's a little risky.
Hard, Sarah. Hard. Keep going.
Looking to roll away.
No roll.
That's a great shot.
Yeah, it really sets up the end nicely. You have one over on the wings. Warner's going to have to hit it here, and you hope the rest of the end plays out and you're able to get a nice soft deuce here.
So we had an exciting men's final earlier when you weren't here, Matt. It was pretty came down to draw to the pin for the win for Team Lung.
Yeah, I was a little busy. I was watching the line scores. I was down in Simcoe helping out with the Little Rock program and the junior program down there. But
good for you.
I had my phone on hand. I was watching the line scores. I was very interested, and it looked like a really fun game for sure.
Yeah, it was a nail biter.
No, you set it out a little bit. Weight was fine.
So they have a couple options here, Matt. What do you think?
I think you just, Veronica mentioned briefly there to peel the guard. I think that might be just a little bit too passive, like we were talking about before. I think you want to start pushing the issue, and you really want to get comfortable with this ice. If you hit the rest of the game out and comes down to maybe a draw to win the game, that's not the kind of situation you want to be in. So you want to force the issue a little bit and get your team comfortable with being in this tense situation. So I really like this call to split the rings. I don't think there's really any risk to it, and this one's running pretty good.
Yeah, I think she really had a little extra weight on that.
Yeah.
Wasn't quite what they wanted. They were
Yeah.
just looking to split the rings there, just a little wide, a little heavy.
Like hack?
Luckily, she still kept her rock around. It's still partially
Yeah,
buried.
yeah. So it's not not the worst situation, but certainly would have liked to have that rock back.
So a chance for Team Warriner to make the hit on this and sit a couple.
Yep.
They also have a center guard in play, so
Hard! Hard!
needs to get it by.
Hard all the way, hard!
Oh.
Just rubs the front.
No, no.
As a player, when there is a miss, you always want to make your shot right after.
9-5.
Can be a real difference maker in an end. So just trading chances back and forth a little bit here.
And we saw the same thing in the third end. We had the blue sitting 2 and then a good hit and roll and just a hit and roll out. And you see it sort of go back and forth a couple times, and that's most likely just nerves, and I think you'll see them sort of get a bit more comfortable as the game goes on. But it's going to be that team who really is able to follow those misses and capitalize on them to make a shot after and really put the pressure on the opponents, who's probably going to come out with the win today.
You got it. I don't like it.
So just hitting shot rock here, Team Warriner. So Matt, we were talking a little bit about the slam circuit earlier, and that both these teams do play on that, the junior slam. I'm just curious about balancing school and curling. How difficult is that?
No roll.
You know, it definitely takes a lot of work. It's something that you need to get on top of early. I'm in third-year university now, and so when you have things like midterm exams or things like that, you really need to sort of have your schedule laid out really early on, so you have the ability to go to your teachers or your professors and explain the situation, and hopefully you can get something worked out. Now, sometimes that doesn't work, and you are sort of, forced to miss a little bit of curling for an exam or something like school, but
Keep going, yeah, nose.
good shot there. Yeah, I think having that balance in life is really important. You really got to sort of, and for me,
9-9.
curling
9-9
is
forward.
never really the number one priority. You always got to have that little bit of school there and have that little balance in your life to really sort of, so that you're not just throwing all your eggs in one basket.
Right,
per
it
se.
helps keep things in perspective.
Mhm.
Right off.
So is it difficult for the U-18 kids to continue with curling? Do you find that a lot of them do stop playing for a while to finish their education?
I think you see it a lot more when the U21 players age out, in order to sort of, as life gets going, when you start trying to find a job, you sort of see players take a step back. But, it does happen at the U18 level, and, it's perfect timing. As soon as they age out of this, they start going to university and college, where it's an entirely different kind of pressure and sort of load on you, workload on you that you have to sort of deal with. So you do see sometimes players take a step back for a year or two to really get their feet under them before they come back and start playing at a high competitive level.
Yeah, it must be really challenging.
Mm-hmm.
So looking to sit here, sit 2.
This will sit down.
Yeah, great shot.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, you almost like. But they're just gonna hit it, like.
Team Warriner could play the top one and try to roll over in front to group them, maybe get out with a double.
Yeah, I really like that. I like playing the top one. She's thinking of rolling away behind the corner. The only thing is you're not going to be shot in that case, and you might just see Bernard just completely ignore it and split the rings again.
Exactly.
I do like your idea of rolling over in front, and then maybe you group the blue stones, or you get a miss out of Bernard, and you're able to make a double and get out of this end.
worth it.
Okay. Madeline Warner with the hit.
Yes! Hard!
Okay, she just hits it on the nose.
Okay.
So they just have to be a bit careful with the hit to make sure that they roll on.
Yeah, you just heard her vice say if he knows you're not in the house, and if that's
No.
true, then you're just going to see Warriner hit the back one and the end might be over. And even if you do
Exactly.
roll in, then you're possibly just grouping up the stones anyways. This is that situation I was talking about where I wouldn't mind seeing her just completely ignore this one, put the faith in your draw weight and maybe toss one around it or split the rings and sit two. Because it's so late in the end, it's going to be very tough for Warriner to sort of put a stop on the end if you just split the rings.
That's right. So delicate shot here to hit and roll to keep the 2 points alive.
Seems to be hanging.
Roll away.
It's definitely not going to roll in, I don't think.
Call for either roll.
So if that's not in, that's a big mistake.
There's white there. All right.
So
Wow.
Warriner's saying it's not in, so you're going to see her try and just hit and stick this back one.
Yeah, and she will have to stick it because obviously there is a split on the front for 2 points. So important shot here for Team Warriner to try to get out of this end.
Okay, control up.
I think that might be a learning opportunity on that shot because, you know, if when you get in later into tight games like this, you really need to have that draw weight in your back pocket. And, you know, missing the hit or missing the draw has the exact same sort of outcome. You're probably getting forced. So just getting that opportunity to have that free draw and get a good look at that draw weight for later on would have been huge for Veronica, I think.
Yeah, and it's been, they've been here all week and playing all week, and they know what the draw weight is. It hasn't changed. So she knows what the draw weight would have been there. It was just a bit of a missed opportunity.
Hard clear.
Needs to stick here.
Yeah.
Again, just trading the mistakes. There's probably a little bit of nerves going on right now.
I think
This way
so.
doesn't curl that much.
There's so much on the line with a chance to go to nationals.
Or draw behind it. Like.
I've
Obvious.
noticed a lot of
These are, like,
shots
touch it.
being overthrown, a lot of
Okay.
heavy draws, a lot of
Yeah.
hits that they probably could have taken the weight down, and that's usually just attributed to nerves. You get the adrenaline
Right.
going and you kick out a little harder than you
Like,
think.
I'm only gonna throw like team top.
The one great part about playing in these finals is after it's over, you do have some chance to reflect on the game, and you'll realize some things that you might do that are different in a final versus a regular game. And one of the things is overthrowing, a little extra adrenaline. So once you kind of know that about yourself, the next time you're in that same situation, you can calm that down a little.
Yeah, and I usually always try and think to throw it, to slide out, to think I'm a little bit light when I'm in a situation like that. You need to have your sweepers there for you.
Oh,
Not
she
quite.
had perfect weight on that. We'll just take the one. I think they may just throw a stick on that top one to make sure. We haven't actually seen any on our sheet, any measurements with the 6-foot stick, so I don't know how the rings are. I think it's swished right by, so that'll be just a score of 1 there for Team Bernard. Ties the game heading into the 4th end break. So a score of 1-1. They'll have a chance to talk to their coach. And while they're having their break, so will we. And we're back in this women's U-18 provincial final between Team Warriner and Team Bernard. The score is tied at 1 apiece. We've got 4 ends to go here. I am joined by Matthew Hall, 3-time U21 champion. He's sitting in for a couple ends to help analyze the game. We were just having a good chat at the 4th end break about how to approach these final games. Matt, what do you think?
I think it's been a little too conservative from what I've seen. I think the last thing you want to do is come off the ice, and if this game doesn't go your way, have regrets because you didn't feel like you pushed it when maybe you could have, or you know, you had opportunities to maybe put your foot down and you maybe let up just that little bit. And you know, I think it's coming from both teams right now. I think for me, when you're playing in a big final like this, if you go hard early and you play every single end and put everything out there, then you know, even if the game doesn't go your way, you're going to be able to look back and you're going to be able to learn a little bit more. Now, either way, it's going to be a learning experience for both teams, I think, in this situation. But when you wait this long and you have such a close game, the hammer becomes so much more important. Now with Warriner having the hammer and that being so big in the second half of the game, it could be that the next multiple score gets such a huge advantage with only 3 ends left to play, or 2 ends or less than that.
Yeah, those are really great points, Matt. I completely agree.
But, you know, at the same time, like, I see where, you know, I'm not sure if any of these girls have played in a game this big before, in a provincial final. And, you know, it's very easy to say you want to keep it close and you want to have draw to the button or the rock in your hand to win the game at the end. You want to give yourself a chance. And there's something to that, but at the same time, you got to trust what got you here. And, you know, you got to go for it when you have the chance.
Yeah, I agree. Now, we were thinking that the ice might be a little bit quicker and straighter, might be giving the girls a bit of a different look today. I think that also happened in the men's final. Sometimes when you're the only sheet out there, the building's a bit cooler. Things tend to be just a little straighter, a little faster, so it does take a little adjustment. I think we're going to see an example of that right here with this shot. Just a little wide, little heavy.
Yeah, and you see it a lot with that team that gets that bye to the final. You know, the team that comes out of the semi, the ice is always a little bit different on Sunday. When there's less games playing, there's only 1, maybe only 2 games out there. The team that wins that semi at least gets a whole game to look at the ice and sort of learn where it's doing, where the team who gets that bye to the final has to come in and has to adjust very quickly to what that ice is doing because the other team has already had a look at it.
Yeah, I think you would never say you don't want the bye to the final, but if you knew you were guaranteed to win the semi, it is a nice advantage to get used to playing in that type of game where there's just the one game out there.
Right, and that's why you will usually see the team with that bye to the final sort of play a little bit more conservative early on to try and get a handle and try and even out that advantage that the other team has. But, you know, I think it looks like they've been trying to get some rocks in play here, but I don't know if that path is just maybe a little bit faster, but both teams seem to get caught on it there.
Just passing the opportunities back and forth here. Team Warriner going to play the peel on the front.
Yep. Whoa! Up!
Yeah, Mary and I were discussing earlier how Team Warriner had to sit for an awfully long time to wait for this final, and that is a challenge.
Yeah, you know, you get to the point where all you want to do is be out there and you want to play the game and you just want to get it over with. And, you know, I've been in both situations, being in the semi and getting the bye to the final, and it's tough to sit in that hotel room and maybe watch the game or watch the line scores and see what's going on. But, you know, once you get out there, you just got to forget about all that and try and put everything you can into the game.
Exactly. So looking for a corner freeze here, I think. Nice shot.
I like hitting this one.
That is a really great result, actually. It does allow Warriner to sort of to play a hit and roll here on those top rocks and get 2 rocks in the rings.
Yeah, if she could have just overlapped it just a hair more, it would have been even better, eh?
Yep.
Would love to keep her shooter around, sit second and third.
Close. Whoa. Whoa. Off. Right off. Right off. Off.
Keep an eye on this yellow in the house. You may see it go back if she hits this thin.
Okay.
Touched it a little bit, but not quite enough.
And she does roll out.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if she called the same type of shot or a guard.
I think the call was a guard, Lori.
Okay.
I think that's right. You're going to see them try and guard it and Warriner peel and maybe get an opportunity to make a play on that blue one.
Lines up, bud. Where?
You may see if this continues for too long, Warriner might have to sort of force the situation and play one into that button area to get one in there.
Sarah close. Yup. 4 foot. Yup.
This seems to be a
Yep,
slick little path here. They're changing gears.
Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Hard. 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 Roll. 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 Okay.
So that's not an ideal situation. Sets up the double.
Yeah, that path has to be a little bit faster because that's the 4th or 5th shot, the 3rd different player who has missed heavy in that spot.
Exactly.
I
So
want to get rid of these. Normal.
So great opportunity here for Team Warriner. She can make this double.
Whoa. No, never, never, never.
I think we're a little full on the release on this one and lots of weight.
Maybe.
Just not giving it quite a chance.
Okay. It's okay.
it doesn't get shot either. I think you'll see Veronica hit and roll the top one, sit 2, and try and get a force out of this end.
Exactly. Yeah, there's a lot of separation now, so she can definitely make a play on this. We're not seeing a lot of over curls.
Hard, Kirsten.
Yeah, no, maybe this spot is just that little bit straighter with so many rocks being played down, and that could be what you could attribute the weight difference to as well.
Exactly. Now she does manage to stay on there, so nice shot there. They do sit 2. The communication is so great amongst all the players, and it's so nice to be able to hear everything they're saying.
Yeah, I agree. I've really liked what I've been hearing from both teams actually in the hack, discussing the paths, discussing, you know, not what way.
That's through the uprights.
No, you set it a little bit.
Well, they indicated that there was a bit of a set on that release, but boy, everything's been running pretty straight in that spot.
Yeah, when you get 3 or 4 misses the same way in a row, I don't think anyone has overcurled here all end.
Yeah.
You really got to bring your sweepers into it, even if you nose it or you roll the other way.
Exactly.
At least give your skip a little bit of a different look at the line and give them something to work off of.
Well, and bring the sweepers into play.
Yeah.
Because they're just standing there at this point. They haven't really had to do
Where?
too much.
Where? Where?
How hard is it, Matt, to admit as a skip that you might have iced them incorrectly?
Oh, it's pretty hard. But it's something that you got to do.
Finish, finish, finish.
You know, something
nice shot
we
there.
always said on our team was when things go wrong, just start apologizing. It doesn't even matter if it's your fault. Just say, you know, say, oh, don't worry, I iced you wrong there. I'll figure it out. And you sort of end up working it out as it goes. But you can't be playing the blame game or anything like that out there. Just take responsibility, get it out of the way, and sort of work it out as it goes.
I think that's really great advice to any young skips out there that are listening and players. So that was a really nice draw by Team Bernard. They're sitting 3. I think she's calling the hit and roll under. Very difficult shot. These rolls have been so hard to make perfectly.
Hard. Right up.
This one is curling. So,
I was a little bit surprised by that call there. With such a high degree of difficulty, and you can get the same result with just drawing one in there, especially in a path that the team has seen over and over this end. Your sweepers are going to know what the speed is. They're going to be able to communicate it to you. If you can draw one in there, you basically cut out all 3 blues to begin with, and the worst that might happen is a steal.
Yeah, and she might have to make that draw on her last one, so.
Yeah, I need to hit the inside. I think this should be okay with 9-5.
So I think Team Bernard just going to hit and stick, sit 3, try to get the force.
No.
The spot
No,
was
no.
straight
Really
earlier.
No, you're bringing it out. Whoa, no jam. Swear. Okay.
So again, missing on the under curl, but this will
I think so, right?
allow Team Warriner a shot for her point. Briefly looked at the double, which would have been very difficult. This is the right call. This is why the skips are paid the big bucks, eh, Matt?
Yeah, you got to be.
The hit's hard.
You know, when you see an end happen like this, and Blue has had that one in the forefoot the entire end, you got to start thinking almost from second stones that you're going to have to draw the forefoot here and start thinking about what the path is doing.
65?
Yeah, that's why I didn't mind your call on her last one, because the way it was playing out, it did look like she was going to have to take her point regardless. So big shot here to score 1. She's drawing against 2 in the 5th end of this provincial U-18 women's final.
Sweeper's calling heavy out of her hand.
So they need it to curl to get to use that backing.
Hard.
This is definitely
Hard,
trying.
Brienne.
I think she's going to use every bit of that backing. Does get her 1.
Sometimes you got to use what's given to you.
So they do take their point. So Team Warriner ahead 2-1 over Team Bernard after 5, and Team Bernard will have the hammer playing into the 6th then. Matthew, so great to have you back again to analyze a couple ends with us in this women's provincial final, and good luck to you and the rest of your season.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's always fun to sort of keep an eye out on the next group of curlies coming up, and it's always fun to watch a playoff Sunday, that's for sure.
Exactly. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Three's fine. Whoa. Whoa. Easy.
Well, hello, Lori. I'm back.
Welcome back.
Did you miss me?
Matt kept your chair warm.
Did.
Yeah, he did a great job.
Yeah,
Fun
thanks
to
to
have-
Matt Hall.
Yeah, fun to have him give his opinions.
So 6th end of play here.
I like that guard. That's tighter.
Bernard one down with hammer.
Line's okay, where?
Yeah, Team Bernard would love to take advantage of the hammer here in the 6th end and try to get a multiple score.
Clear, close. Sarah, line's okay. Keep going. 4 foot, 4 foot. Clear, clear.
Looks like a really
Hard,
nice
hard,
draw
hard,
here.
hard. Full 4, full 4, full 4. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Good
Great shot.
14.
Nice
Perfect.
start to this end.
Yeah, this is the end where Bernard really wants to score a couple of points.
Close.
6th end.
Whoa. Yeah, line, yeah, line. Hard. Hard. Off.
She's going to tick the front here.
It's not awful. This one's biting, that one's not. This one's barely biting, and that one's not in.
So good call here by Veronica. She's going to draw around that yellow rock that is sort of playing as a corner guard.
Line's okay, where? Okay, you've got tons of room.
Yeah, Kirsten's had pretty good control of her draw weight. Just made a beauty.
Of course, this is going to the wings a little faster.
Not.
As we've said all week, seems to be a little quicker to the wing. Will stick around though.
Okay. 13-2. Control? Do you like coming from this way or this way? Okay, control. Whoa! Off!
So looking for the hit and roll. She's got
Never.
lots of weight on this one.
Might get a cheap double here.
Just jams it.
Just take your time and line up.
So nice chance here to sink another one around the other corner guard. So I was talking to this team earlier when they were getting ready, and they have committed to playing U-21s together next year, so seem to have nice team chemistry. We've enjoyed their warm-up music all week.
Yeah, we have. So are they all out of U-18 or maybe some of them? Because it looks like some of them are still
all
young
but
enough.
one.
Okay. Really having trouble with draw weight this whole game, both teams.
Yeah,
much
Matthew
you
and
got
I
on this
were
one?
chatting about that while you were
Do you want to do
having
that?
your break, saying it looks like it's a little
Control.
straighter, a little faster, which is pretty typical for these
Yeah.
final games. There is a double here.
Yep. Yes. Hard. Hard. Gotta go. Gotta go. Hard. Whoa. Yeah, a little
That's
bit.
a big miss.
This
Bernard's
is-
team's got the hammer here.
Yeah,
They'll be drawing to
huge,
sit 3.
huge opportunity here. This is when, as a thrower, you really want to take an extra second.
Line's a little tighter.
Needs to be in front of the tee
Where?
line.
Line's okay. Line's
Up
okay
to
right
the
now.
sweepers to place
Stay
this
close.
perfectly.
Kirsten close. Kirsten close. Where? Finish if you can.
I don't think
Yep,
it needs it
yep.
for weight, but they're going to try to finish it for
hard,
line.
hard. Keep going, keep going, keep going.
Really nice shot.
14-5. 14-5.
So Team Warriner in a bit of trouble here.
Hard! Hard! Whoa, 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 whoa! Good.
Nice double there.
So the Bernard team doesn't have to hit this. They're already sitting shot rock. They can just draw to sit two. They can get really aggressive and come around the yellow guard again. They could split the rings.
They could freeze to this.
They could.
Lots of options. This is tricky. You have to
Well,
stick your shooter.
Yeah.
It's at the back of the rings. But I know just from speaking to this team, they do have a more conservative approach to the game, so it doesn't shock me that this is the call.
Well, the problem is this is what's going to happen right here.
I know.
You know, plus, even if they make it, they're behind the tee line.
She was just a little out. Yeah. Forward. Control. Okay.
So Team Warriner can definitely see a good chunk of this stone. That last shot on Team Bernard might have been a good opportunity for a timeout.
Mm-hmm.
Because a two-point
No.
end here would have been massive with only 2 ends to go.
Yeah. Now this looks like it's going to be a miss.
I think we have a break right back. So a chance to split the rings.
4, but like over there. Yeah.
Definitely some nerves in this last game. We've watched these ladies play all week, and they certainly haven't been making this many mistakes. So I think just the ice is a little straighter and a little nerves.
Just here. Sarah close.
Passing some chances back and forth.
Where? Is it going to stay?
Needs to sit around for 2. Well, it's good that they're still having some giggles out there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Control up. The rolling behind theirs would be good. It's a long roll, but still. Try and group them together.
So trying to hit second shot here. I guess they don't want to flirt with that guard. Hit the open one.
Yep. Hard. Hard, right up.
What would happen if you froze to this one, Lori?
Well, I was thinking that too, but based on what I know their game plan is, this doesn't surprise me. I like hitting it right on the nose, though. Keep those separated.
Do you like this ice?
Big oh. She had a little trouble with the landing gear on that one, but held it together. Needs to curl up.
Good recovery.
Yeah, great recovery.
That was an ugly slide.
No. Because if I miss, they get 3. Yeah. I think this way.
Well, if she does make a perfect roll, she could be shot rock.
Mm-hmm.
And it's higher up in the rings, so.
Very difficult, though.
Yep. Try for the roll.
So Team Warriner looking for the hit and roll, try to get out of this end.
This could be close.
Whoa!
She's got a lot of weight on it.
Too much weight.
Yeah, very, just overthrown. So free chance for 2 points here. This would be huge for Team Bernard.
Okay. Just didn't want to nose again. Yeah, it's not great, but.
You can really hear the emotion in these girls' voices right now. She does get her 2 points. 3-2 for Team Bernard over Team Warriner.
Okay, we gotta throw the corners on yours.
Team Warriner will have the hammer in the 7th end.
Oh, those yours are off. Okay, throw the corners.
So with 2 ends to go.
Another very tight match here on this final day. Bernard now up 3-2, playing 7.
Okay.
So she's calling a guard here.
She doesn't want Team Warriner to blank out the 7th end.
Mm-hmm.
2.
And you can see by Team Warriner's call, they definitely do want the blank.
I thought she called the
Wait
corner
on
Did
it.
she
guard.
call corner
Well, I
guard?
thought I heard a 2. but-
Okay.
2.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Whoa, Sarah, stay on it. Sarah's in.
Yeah, I like this call.
Good.
Need to generate some points here.
I'm giving you a bit more than I just did.
So Team Bernard with the attempt to draw around the center guard.
Line's quite a bit farther out. Clear close, clear close. You've got no line. 4 foot, yep. Hard, 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 hard. Hard, hard, all the way, all the way, all the way. Keep going, keep going, keep
She's
going.
got
keep
great
going. Hard,
line.
hard, hard. You gotta keep going. Get it biting, get it biting, get it biting. Keep going, keep going. Okay, that's fine. 14-6.
That was good sweeping to get it into the rings. We're going to have a lot of rocks in play this end, Mary.
Well, what's kind of interesting, and Matt was talking about this, is now the Team Warriner has chosen to put up a corner guard and to ignore other rocks and to start coming around it. They've waited basically till the 7th end of an 8-end game. Why not do this in the first end, the second end, the third end?
Far.
Like, you know, it just may be too late at this point.
No.
So Team Bernard looking to wrap one around the center.
Line's not bad. Okay, line's hanging out, clear close right now.
This is playing with fire a bit
A little bit.
because Warriner is sitting shot rock at the back.
This one is a little on the warm side.
Okay, that's fine. 13-1.
50?
Yeah, nice opportunity here for Team Warriner here, with that draw being a bit long.
I know.
We knew this game would come down to a couple key draws, and I think we were right.
14-6.
She's got great line on this.
Yeah.
So a little bit deep.
Yeah, her line was perfect on that. This gives Team Bernard a chance to get out of this if they could freeze one right on top. This is a big shot in this end.
Clear close, clear close, clear close. Clear close. Clear close. Clear close. You're not close line.
Looks like plenty of weight here.
Where? Clear. Can you go? We're not.
Want to rather leave it high.
Whoa.
Yeah,
We're by it. Okay.
just a couple feet too heavy.
Yeah, even if you end up top 8 there, top 4, and not shot rock, it'd be in a really good spot.
So Team Warriner playing the hit and roll to the wing, I think. Okay, they're laying 3.
Yeah. Yeah. Tolerance full 4.
But if Team Bernard could sink one in here, they could potentially steal this end.
I still think she's playing with fire here. She can hit that yellow rock. Even get a little roll behind cover. She doesn't want to give up 3 here.
Nope. I like it. I like this call if you make it.
Well,
They should have a great idea of the line
Where?
and the weight. They just tried it twice.
Line's not bad. Where? Right on T. Kirsten, yep.
Huge shot here for
Hard,
Claire
hard.
Randall.
Okay, well, you're good. How much of a bump?
She's got great line. Just bounces off.
Again, you know, tolerance would have been just to be a little bit lighter.
This one is running really straight. She's not going to make contact.
Yeah. Tall. 2, 2, 2, 3. Tolerance here. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
No hesitation for Veronica playing the guard here.
Okay.
Now, because there is already a center line guard, she doesn't have to be perfect on this, but she
Line's
does
not
have to
bad.
be careful.
Kirsten close.
There's a lot of yellows
Kirsten
in there.
close. Hard line. Hard. Where? Okay, do you need a bump? No, you can't really. We're like just by it. Okay, well. Whoa. If it stays, it should be not awful. Okay.
So just over curls slightly.
Do you want a bump?
She would have loved to have that a foot over
Yeah.
from the
sure.
center line.
Back 12.
Weight was pretty good on it.
Back 8.
So second chance here for Sarah Bailey.
Whoa. Off. Whoa.
Can she use her own to wick off of?
Okay, that's fine.
So, what is the situation?
Wonder if we can get an overhead here.
We're second.
Yeah. Who shot? Yellow. The middle. The middle shot. Time. It's Claire, time.
So, Team Bernard calling a timeout here. We'll have a listen in.
I think they can, but not with weight.
Yeah, do you like that back line of that one?
Yeah. We have room.
You got lots of room. If you get to the nose, even if you get just off nose and flop in front of the other yellow one.
If I hit this side, it's going right into the blue.
Okay, so let's just. You can't hit that side.
Close to nose as you can.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Close to nose as you can.
Like, don't throw like hit weight.
Like back line.
Back 12. Back house.
It really cuts in there. Yeah.
Like, like back 12. You were throwing back here.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, where do you think the room?
That's your hit.
Okay, well, if we do that, what do you think we're going to do? Is there a double?
It's a double
The
hit.
blue and yellow are frozen.
Okay, cool. Okay. You like that?
Yeah.
I like that.
Guard where we put hers. I can't remember. Claire.
Yeah.
Combining their names. Yeah, Clara. Actually, no, there was an S and there was like I don't even know. Yeah, that was pretty close. Clarissa. Clarissa. side edge of 8.
But Sarah's hung.
But it's back to Claire.
I gave Claire mid.
Well, if you're throwing, draw late, like we can carve it out, right?
Okay.
You got it.
So, Coach
Yeah.
Mark Bernard
What do I need? 80.
having a talk with his team.
What was the decision here?
Well, I definitely heard him discussing making a play on the shot rock. So good timeout call there.
Doesn't want to open up her back one.
So it might just not have been enough weight for the shot she was calling there.
I guess, yeah. Yeah, okay.
Well, at least she's sort of guarded. She did get something out of that shot.
Yeah.
So
Still 1-2.
Warriner is a little worried about that blue rock in front of the house. And she's choosing to put a guard in front of it, and they're calling a timeout. Coach doesn't agree with the shot, I don't think. So we'll listen in.
Hi. Guard.
Okay. There's no way to draw anyone in there, eh?
It's tight, but like, what if we open another one?
What's that? He's not gonna hit.
I don't ever want to tip my own out, you know?
Yeah, but it's a good time to go for 2.
Think we try it?
Well, draw weight.
Yeah.
We can still get 2 rocks, right?
Yeah.
Like if you set it up that it's in the top 8 foot. Like
Okay,
you
yeah.
can push her back in with the next one.
Okay. And lighter's better?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Put like the draw through the hole.
Okay.
Line's perfect. Take it all the way into the top of the 4 foot.
If you guard, you guard.
Yeah, if it comes up short, weird shot.
They're,
They're
yeah,
back
back button.
Back button.
They're 4 foot. Work side of the button.
No, we're
They have a piece of the button, I think.
Even if you fill the hole, and then if you can pump it back in with your next one's fine.
Yeah, okay.
Okay?
All right.
Go get 'em, girls.
Okay. Who's inside edge of 8?
So are they trying through the hole here, Mary?
They have to be with that ice.
They did indicate that they thought that hole was huge.
Mm-hmm. This is close.
Yes! Whoa!
Not laying a broom to it yet. Oh, she's going to make a really nice shot there. Sits 2 for sure. Might be there for 3.
Good. Okay.
Team Bernard definitely was playing with some fire here.
Well, we talked about this earlier in the end. She had to be hitting. It was almost like she was playing the 8th end tied and she was trying to steal. You can't leave your opponent rocks in the house when you don't have hammer and it's this close. Have a listen here.
So do you like drawing this way? Because I don't.
No, I like through that hole.
But
No, I like through that
if
hole.
I hit the guard though,
She just came by with so much room.
I know, but no, not those. If I hit,
Do you want to call time again? How many? We have 1 time left? Yeah. I think we should play this. I think that's our shot.
no. I don't know, because I'm just thinking, because if I touch that blue. What?
Like I don't see what else you have.
Okay, then just play it.
So you can definitely sense Veronica's frustration here. She doesn't have a very high percentage shot.
Sorry.
Probably wondering how the heck she got into this mess.
Okay. I have to throw what she just did to get
Team
through.
Warriner made that hole look pretty easy, so she's got to follow her down. She has no other choice.
That's all I got.
You got it wrong, let's make it.
What did you just throw? What do I need? Time. Yeah! Hard! 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 Yes! Hard!
Oh, no. Well, that leaves Team Warriner sitting 3.
I think we come around this way, yeah?
Yeah, but with up weight. I don't want to take this.
I don't ever want to, yeah,
I'd
no.
rather come around here and then.
We just need a piece of the 4. There's no play on that, is there? No, I don't think we can ever. Yeah. I could always try and run that. No. Okay. Yeah, come around. Yeah, as long as we have a piece of the 4. Piece of the 4 is good.
Do you think you'll need a bit more for a way up here? Not more than last time.
Lighter's tolerance, because I don't want to bump ours out. Okay.
So a chance here to draw to the forefoot for Team Warriner.
Yeah. Yep.
Made some really nice shots in this end.
Hard! Put a stick to it if you need to.
So 3 for sure. I think they'll be measuring.
I'm thinking blue. But they're going to measure. And I don't know. It's very close.
Just put a stick to it anyways.
Well, huge end either way for Team Warriner. Storming back in this game.
Just have a look here and watch the measure.
So it is yellow. That's a huge 4 points for Team Warriner. They'll go up 6-3 with Team Bernard having the hammer here in the last end.
Well, that's unfortunate for the Bernard team. Giving up such a big end so late in the game.
Yeah, it just might have got away from their game plan a little bit. Their game plan all game had been sort of conservative, and then they really changed tactics there. Sometimes you try for the force and you end up giving up a 4.
One sec.
So Team Warriner, they don't want any rocks in play with a 3-point lead.
Cute.
So Team Bernard needs to throw their corner guards. See if they can get something going here.
Corner, yeah, they're going.
And
They have hammer.
a 3 is not impossible.
Nope.
Try to tie it up here. Go to an extra end.
Hit everything.
You basically just need one missed peel and you can bring a 3 into play.
Yep.
So all is not lost yet.
I like through. Do you like taking that way? Because it might go in. Yeah, I don't like that. Oh, yeah. I like through again. Just put it through again. Good.
Smart call putting those through. Any rocks in play are really just going to help Team Bernard.
Okay.
So really important shot here. Another guard would really help this Bernard team.
All you.
Try to even them up.
Right off.
Don't want to set up a double here.
Certainly
I
not.
think gave it just a little too much ice there.
Yeah, it certainly didn't curl.
No, she wanted that to be a corner guard.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
groups the stones.
That's fine. Yep. That's fine.
So only gets the 1.
Yep, that's fine. Yeah, no, she give it a little shove in, but that's fine. Yep.
She needs some separation on these corner guards. Needs to curl.
Nice shot.
Normal. Take your time.
Good advice from the skip.
Yep.
Take your time.
Yeah, really nice leadership there.
Yep. Whoa. Hard roll.
Going
hard
for the
roll.
over
Hard,
curl
all the
peel.
way, all the way.
Any old way will do.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the tendency in these tight situations. You tend to protect.
Yep.
Right? You don't want to flash the peel, so tend to throw it a little inside. So we're coming around the guard.
think she just called a second corner.
Okay.
Can you go?
Changing it up a little bit here.
At least get it off center. Okay, that's fine. No. Should be, yeah. Okay, good. Maybe a hair, but it's pretty good.
Yeah, they need 3 here just to tie, so they're going to have to start coming into the rings now.
Yeah, so you don't mind being back at the house here since you have to get a few in behind that guard.
Mm-hmm.
Hard.
Really
hard,
nice
hard,
shot
hard.
here.
Keep going.
Smart call. Not going to chase that rock, just straight peel.
Whoa. Off. Yep. Okay, whoa. You're fine.
Nice peel.
So Veronica will ask to get one more guard out here to cover this one and hope that the other team will miss the peel.
Mine's okay. All you, Kirsten, close. Where? Just over and off.
Yeah, after that big score of 4 points in the 7th end, time is running out here for Team Bernard. Nice guard, though. Doesn't really need to go after the one in the rings, just straight peel. She'll have a wide open hit on her last shot. Just needs to be a bit careful here.
Yeah, I think that's could be what the coach is about to tell them. Just peel the guard.
He's probably going to tell us to just go for the straight peel. Yeah.
Peeling the guard, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or I mean,
We're peeling the guard. Yeah, if you flash that, then what? Right?
okay, go for
You're
the straight
better
peel.
off, you're better off peeling the guard.
Go for the peel.
They're going to put one in, hit one of the rocks, game's over. Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. We want to peel the guard.
Yeah.
You throw a little bit wide and you hit the one in the house, it's perfect.
Okay. Yep. Okay, normal.
Some good advice from
I
the
think
coach.
that's pretty good.
Just peel the guard. They'll have to put
Yeah.
their next rock in the house and you'll have an open hit for the win.
Stay with it.
So even though she didn't make the peel, the Bernard team's going to come around this, but Madeline will have an open hit for the win.
Exactly. It was just important to open up the shot rock.
More.
So Veronica just looking for the draw around, and then she's going to hope.
Good. All you.
Looks a bit up here.
Backing. Backing.
I think her weight looks fine.
Mm-hmm.
So just an open hit here to win this U-18 Women's Championship. Chance to represent Ontario at the U-18 Nationals in St. Andrews, New Brunswick.
Stay close.
Yes! Whoa!
Need to keep it clean here.
So makes no mistake, Team Warriner winning this provincial championship. They're off to the Nationals representing Ontario. It was a well-fought week by Team Bernard.
Yeah, it was.
So congratulations to Team Warriner. They're so excited.
Yeah, pretty exciting. So that will conclude coverage of this women's final with Team Warriner defeating Team Bernard. We'd like to wish Team Leung and Team Warriner all the best at the U-18 Canadian Championship being held April 9th to 14th in St. Andrews, New Brunswick. On behalf of Lori, myself, and the entire TSL crew, we wish you all a great evening from Hamilton.